Hi, my name is Chris Perry, and I'm the founder of CareerRocketeer.com, a career search and personal branding network. I also work full-time in brand management in the consumer packaged goods industry. Today I'd like to talk with all of you about something that most professionals and students surprisingly fail to leverage in their job search and in their careers, and that's personal branding. Now, some of you may already know a little bit about personal branding, but I want to dive a little deeper to help everybody understand exactly what it is, as well as how to do it effectively to advance your careers. So, what is personal branding? Personal branding is the process of A, identifying your unique and differentiating value, that which you bring to any team, organization, or project, and B, communicating that value consistently and memorably in all of your actions and outputs to all your current and prospective career stakeholders. So now that you know what it is, how do you brand yourself effectively? Well, I actually use a lighthouse model to help myself break down the process into its 4 key components or steps: the foundation, the beacon or the light, the tower, and the beam or where the light is shining. Now, first of all, the foundation. What is the foundation? The foundation represents your strengths and experience, something that nobody can really argue with, something that you're going to come to the table with regardless. Now, how do you establish your foundation? How do you even identify what your foundation is? Well, this is very, very simple. Start writing down what your key strengths are. You already know what your experience is. You've got your resume. But write down your top 3 to 5 strengths and go and ask your colleagues, your managers, your family, your friends, anybody you trust to do the same thing, and start seeing where those strengths overlap, because that's where your real strengths lie, in between what your own perception and what their perception is. So once you've got your strengths or your foundation, you start establishing that. That will continue to grow throughout your career. But now that you've got that, you can build the beacon. Now, your beacon, you say, well, what about the tower? I mean, a lighthouse has a tower above the foundation. Well, that's correct. But the tower comes after you've identified what your strengths are and then kind of identified one word or phrase that really represents those strengths and communicates it very effectively. Now, the beacon, as I said, is that very word, that phrase, that brand name that represents you. Now, I'll actually give you my anecdote as a story. I identified my strengths to be my endless energy, my creativity and problem solving, as well as my relationship building. I love working with other people. So having identified those 4, I realized, well, those are the same strengths as a lot of other people. So how do I differentiate myself? I have to create a beacon that shines brighter in any given case than the others. So I came up with the word generator, which I felt really represented all 4 of those. See, I generate energy, I generate ideas, I generate solutions to problems, and I generate relationships. So it really helped me bring together everything that other people would notice about me, but in a way that they remembered. I had multiple interviewers remember me out of a crowd of people they'd interviewed as the generator guy. Now, yes, it would have been great if they knew my name right offhand, but they'd made those notes on my resume. They knew who I was, but maybe they were bad with names, but they did remember my brand and how they felt about me, which was that I was a professional and outgoing candidate and potentially the right fit for their organization. That actually did help me get my current role in brand management. So now that I've kind of explained how that worked for me and how you might be able to apply that, there is no wrong answer. Once you come up with that brand name, that beacon, you'll always be that beacon, but we'll get to how you can customize that depending on how you change your career. So now that you've got your foundation and your beacon, look at your tower. Your tower is anything that you do passively to increase your visibility and to build up your beacon or your brand. So this can be everything you do, from LinkedIn profiles, a personal website, just passive networking, going to trade shows, trade organizations and events, anything that gets your name out there but isn't necessarily actively pursuing an opportunity. Now, and this can be done forever. I mean, as you build your brand and you increase your presence online, this is just going to continue to grow. But this is something that you do on the passive side. Now, your more active networking and active brand building is where your beam comes in. Your beam is your career direction and strategy. So where are you really going in your career as, in my case, the generator? Well, I wanted a career in brand and marketing. So I am the brand and marketing generator. It's really that, it can be that simple. If I changed and went into a financial career, I could be the finance generator. Regardless, I'm always going to be a generator. My strengths are always going to be the same. My experience may change, but my strengths are the same. So it's important to remember that regardless of what direction you're going, you're always going to have that same beacon. So just apply your direction to the beacon, and you've got this really unique brand that you can present in any of your more active networking and career searching. So now that you've got your direction, your strategy is how you go about searching for these people. Who are you going to target? Where are you going to target them? And all of this can involve going to career fairs, doing informational interviews through LinkedIn. That's actually how I got my initial interview that led to my current role in brand management. And then once you've got the right contacts that are behind these posts that you've applied for, you start actively using your brand in them. Present yourself as your brand. I am the generator in my interviews, on my resume, in my cover letters, in my signatures, in my thank you notes. All of these different things are active ways you can share your brand with others. And once you've done that, you've just created such a powerful impact in terms of all the other candidates that have applied and interviewed for that same position. And this also helps you in your career, even beyond your job search. It's how you stand out from others. How are you going to get that next promotion? How is another company down the road maybe going to see you as a star in your current organization and come and recruit you for theirs? So all of these things can really, really help you in your job search and in your career. And it's really just important that you actually stop and consider how you can do that now, because it's not too late. It should be something you did in the beginning of your career that you can add on to, but it's never too late to start. So I really recommend that all of you begin using this kind of model as a basis for how you go throughout the process. And if you come up with a better model, please let me know, careerrocketeer@gmail.com. But this is something that I thought, even as maybe nerdy as it may sound, a lighthouse is a really powerful tool and model to use to help you kind of build your own brand and build your presence online, offline, and in your career. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope that if any of you have any questions, please feel free to email me, again, at careerrocketeer@gmail.com. But if you have any other questions or want more advice, please check out careerrocketeer.com for tons of free articles and resources to help you in your career.